up, dude?
Hey, my man.
Man, you must have had a good swim.
I'm pickled.
You're pickled, huh?
Yeah.
Dill or sweet?
Yeah. Canned.
Oh, well, I mean, you can can both of those, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do we got going here today?
A little age grouper, Jaime Lopez.
Yeah. Big story. Big story out of him this year.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of good stories.
Stories everywhere.
Speaking of stories, I just had an Amy's vegan burrito.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Jeez. You're all in. I like it.
How's your vegan going?
Still going strong. I'm not breaking, man. I'm actually sipping on a cup of coffee and a handful of almonds and dates to prepare for my run.
Oh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell that quick story?
Do what?
Can I tell that quick story?
Yeah, if you want to.
As
going to anyway, so
I know, but as a lot of you know, we've been kind of experimenting with the vegan vegetarian kind of route for the last week or so, and by no means I don't think we're saying we're endorsing that, right, Robbie?
It's not an endorsement.
We're just experimenting, right?
We're exploring ways to better ourselves, which should be an endless pursuit.
Yeah, I think so too. But in that conversation, sort of invariably, the name Rich Roll pops up, and we're both, I think, or at least I'm reading his book right now, finally, and we talk about Rich Roll a lot and the vegan thing, and we kind of have fun with it and everything. And so the other day, I texted you, and I said, "Are you giving up coffee too?" And you texted me back and said, "Hell no." And I started laughing because I knew it was coming. I just texted back, "Rich did."
As I almost spit out my coffee right now.
And I just started laughing, and then you came back with a text line that said, "Yeah, well, I ain't rich." That just busted me up.
It's true. I ain't rich, man.
I know.
Ain't rich. I'm not Rich Roll. I might be Rich Rob, but I ain't Rich Roll.
I'm going to really start wondering when I see you with the ponytail.
Oh, dude, it ain't never happening. This is as long as this hair is going to go. I can tell you right now, the next thing that it may ever be braided and be my beard, but way before my hair.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. So, you want to give a little intro for Jaime here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do a little bit, and then I want him to be able to share some of his backstory as well. So
his backstory.
So Jaime and I started working together. I mean, gosh, it feels like many moons ago, but I think it was maybe early May when we started working together, and I had already been working with his wife Kate quite a bit on half marathon training, and it's kind of fun when you hear about somebody and then you start working with them and then you finally meet them, and it's just, I don't know, it's a really cool like kind of trajectory, but I had heard about him, and so we started working together. Like I said, I think early May. I'm just trying to flip back through my training peaks real quick so I don't misquote myself. Okay, a little earlier than that. Oh wait, no, not earlier than that. Anyway, we're looking at like late May. Something like, last week of April is when it was.
Okay.
The week before Sprint Try. And he had sent me some messages, about, working together and his backstory, and he'd come a long way. I think last year he did his very first Ironman was Ironman Louisville. And, I always like to get the backstories of athletes that come in, tell me about your life, tell me what got you into the sport, tell me why you're doing this. And he's got a really great story. I won't ruin. I'll kind of let him tell you kind of his own personal kind of evolution. But anyway, we got to talking, and he, not everybody, most people, when they give you a time, they always like to put like an asterisk below it and do like either a but or a well, as far as like what went wrong and why their time was something like they need to justify it, whether it's good or bad. And I mean, I don't feel like you should have to do that. I think we all do it to an extent. But he sent me his time. He was like, yeah, I did a 15:02 at Louisville, and then like a 6:30 at Muncie. And he was like, Louisville was a bad race. I just had a bad time. I had all these things sick with me, and I think I emailed him back and I said, man, it wasn't you, it was your plan. And that's not to, and again, it's not to say that I have, the greatest training plans and I do the greatest coaching on the face of earth, but they're like, people circulate these training plans from magazines. Like, listen, if you can find a training plan that somebody else is on, and then it's exactly the same, you're not on a training plan. You're reading a guide. And the fact that more than one person is on it should just tell you how unpersonal, and you should just go ahead and accept the fact that you are not going to achieve what you ultimately are capable of. And I guess that's the problem I have with a lot of training. Anyway, I won't get on that horse. This isn't about me. This is about Jamie. But anyway, we started working together, and I could just tell from like day one, like he was going to be what I call a green machine. He was going to be green on training peaks all the time, never missing a workout. And all he needed was just a little bit of guidance. He had the consistency down. I could see it in his previous training. So anyway, he went into Muncie and absolutely tore it to shreds. Like, tore it to shreds to the tune of almost an entire hour PR. So, and he absolutely tore his previous PR to shreds. He went from a 6:30-ish to a 5:30-ish, which is a gigantic jump. So basically, Jamie 2017 version was finished with the race when Jamie 2016 version had barely, if even, gotten to the turnaround of last year.
Wow, that's an hour and a half. That's an hour off of 70.3 is what you're saying, basically.
It's an hour, yeah. So if you're looking at a 2-hour marathon, if you're looking at a 2-hour half marathon, yeah. But anyway, so he took a chunk off, and I'm stoked to see him go to Wisconsin, which is a harder course than Louisville. And if you want to argue about that, you're just going to be wrong, so don't even start.
Well, especially in the weather.
God, it's not even close to as hard. When it used to be in the heat, you would say, okay, well, maybe the heat can bring it up somewhere, but yeah, Wisconsin's definitely more difficult. But he's come a long way, and we had him at camp this last week, and it was just awesome to meet him. He's such a good dude, and it's always nice to see good people finally like figuring out not their path, but the fact that they're actually capable of what they probably thought they were capable of. They just hadn't found the right way or the right, tunnel to get there.
Yeah, that's right, man. He's a hard worker, positive guy, great person. Let's just bring him in. Hey, Jaime Lopez. Jamie!
Hello there, gentlemen.
Hello, Jamie.
What's happening?
Nothing much. Good. How are you, buddy?
Yeah. I'm good.
Are you on the road, traveling around, making it happen?
I was. I'm back in my office now.
Okay.
Ooh. Are you like hiding under the desk or something?
Does it sound like I am?
Kind of.
No.
I got a Costanza bed underneath there.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, buddy. So how you feeling after camp, man?
I feel like I miss camp. I feel like camp should be like an everyday thing.
Yeah, maybe we should do it once a weekend.
Oh, yeah, I get divorced, but yeah, it's not going to happen.
But you'd have so much fun, though.
Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't have fun being divorced. Yeah, I wouldn't. That wouldn't be a fun process for me.
Okay. So have you been training, man? Have you been going hard since camp, or you been recovering, or what's going on?
Robbie was kind to me the week after camp. I had a recovery week. It said actual recovery week on my training program.
Yep.
Oh, what's that mean? 0?
No, that never means 0.
No.
Just means easy does it.
Right. And then now this week is a big week. I'm looking at about 17 hours this week.
17:35.
Yeah. So,
So you're
to be exact, 17:35.
Yep, 17:35. 11 and a half hours in the saddle.
That's pretty good.
Big weekend.
Hey, okay, so why don't we go ahead and let's move it back a little bit, Jamie. You want to get back into your story a little bit and how you got into triathlon? That way, you can kind of loosen it up and just sort of tell us, what you're thinking and how it all happened. And now, because we kind of know where you're at a little bit right now, but let's go back.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think like most people, well, I shouldn't say most, like a lot of people, it was just watching those videos or the coverage of Kona, way back when I was younger, and thinking how cool that was, and someday I'm going to do that. And like many things, life got in the way. Schooling, I was kind of into bicycle racing for quite a long time as well, and then kind of fast forward to, it must have been November 2015 when I watched the broadcast of Kona. And was thinking about, I'm not getting any younger, so it might be time to do that.
How old were you then?
And then 2015, so that makes me 43, 42.
Okay.
And then just by chance too, I'm not sure how I got on an email, but I got an email from the local triathlon store about a triathlon call out. So I went to that. I think that must have been January 2016, so just a couple months later. And I remember telling my wife about it, and she asked me, can you swim? And I'm like, well, yeah, of course I can swim. Everyone can swim. So I signed up, and they gave me a plan for a 70.3. And then the next morning, I went to the pool where at the health club we're members of at the time, to go, prove to myself, I think more than anyone, that I could swim. And, I guess looking back, how completely unprepared I was for that. I showed up in just, a pair of swim trunks, not any type of tri shorts or anything like that. No swim cap, no goggles. And I took the lane. Yeah.
You were watching Mark Spitz back in the day.
Yeah. So I took the lane furthest from the lifeguard, and because I didn't, I was trying not to draw any attention to myself. There were some other people in the pool who were obviously much better swimmers than I, and I just tried to do 25 yards, 25 meters, and I got about halfway, not even halfway across the pool, and I was just exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And, so I stopped, I stood up, and then I saw, this is the fun part, I think, I saw the lifeguard get out of her chair and kind of, start walking towards me or around the pool to get kind of towards the lane I was in. And I'm like, well, now I'm in trouble. But I got across the pool, and I stayed there for, I got a couple other laps in, I guess. And I think I shared this with Robbie, and I said, this was my first experience in not respecting the sport. So then my mind turned to, if I'm going to do the 70.3, I have to learn how to swim, and I didn't know where to turn. So naturally I turned to YouTube and just started watching every swim video I could find on YouTube. And my poor wife, that's what was all on our TV constantly was how to swim. If you have an account with YouTube, it gives you suggestions for you, and all my suggestions were swim videos. And so I just kind of tried to follow this plan that was given to me. And I think, like I said, they gave me a 70.3 plan, but in my mind, and I'd always wanted to do, obviously, the Ironman for the reasons everybody else wants to do it. That looks like the biggest challenge you can do for yourself. So I started in a sprint, did a sprint. I did an Olympic distance. My first experience in Olympic distance was horrible. About not even 5 minutes into the swim, my swim cap popped off. I'm not sure how that happened because I had my goggles over the cap, And I didn't know what to do at that point in time. This is still all new to me. So I grabbed my swim cap, and I couldn't get it back on, so I just started swimming with it. And I swam with the opening towards me. So every time I reached with my arm, the cap would fill with water. So then I'd have to try to squeeze it out. So I was doing some strength training, I guess.
Robbie, that's the fist drills.
That is the fist drill.
Exactly.
You just didn't know it yet.
Yeah. So then I got off got through the swim and got to the bike, and my the cycling shoes I use have like that BOA type lacing system, and my right BOA system broke as I tried to tighten it, so I couldn't tighten my right shoe. So I spent like 6 minutes in transition trying to fix it. Finally, just gave up and rode with a loose shoe. Got through the bike and started on the run, and a bee or some other bug like flew underneath my sunglasses and stung me under my eye. So like in all three disciplines, I had something that just kind of went wrong.
It's like this is like a Seinfeld triathlon episode.
Exactly. And then I did Muncie. After that, my Olympic was on the course of Muncie, sort of. It was at Prairie Creek. We used the run. So that's really why I did that Olympic up there, was to kind of get a preview of the course. So then I did Muncie, and I spent. This is where I learned that I really need help with swimming, because I spent 57 minutes in the water, and by the time I got out, I was completely exhausted. Walked up to transition and didn't do a bad bike, but I think the whole thing caught up to me on the run, because there was a ton of walking. And at this point in time is when I realized, I need help with my swim. So I turned to some local coaches to kind of help me out. And they did, I think I learned some things from them, but, in listening to the podcast, obviously a lot of things I was being taught was the glide stroke and stuff like that, which may not be so conducive to open water swimming. But at this point in time too, I'm like, Ironman, I think, does a nice job in advertising, because you finish Muncie, and what was a week later, not even, you get an email saying, well, now you finished Muncie, what about Louisville?
So the big red machine, always cranking them out.
Right, exactly. So it was that was always in the back of my mind. In fact, at a certain point in time before Muncie last year, and then bite my tongue for saying this, I felt the training program that I had really wasn't challenging me. So then I bought one. I bought a paper Ironman program online, which I kind of started following that in May last year. So, a couple months before Muncie. So I was kind of following a paper Ironman program, and I was really, it was in the back of my mind. I'm training. I trained for the half. I should just continue going on, and I'm not sure I'll ever get back to this point in my life. So I hesitated, and then in August of last year, I signed up for Louisville, and finished Louisville. So, and that was a little bittersweet, finishing Louisville, because I went down there the week I hadn't been sick since I started training last year in February, and the Sunday before Louisville, I couldn't get out of bed. I was feverish from like Sunday through Tuesday, and I finished my antibiotics on Friday, the day I drove down to Louisville. And the good thing I think that I had going for me in Louisville was the fact that I didn't have any goals other than just to finish. I didn't have a time goal. So it was just get to the finish line. And my morning breakfast consisted of 2 shots of Dayquil, some Mucinex, what's that little red pill?
I don't know.
Sudafed.
Going there.
I had Sudafed. I had
I'm not going there.
I had that emergency that you mix with water.
Oh yeah.
And so I felt really.
Jesus, man.
I know, and it took me all the way through the swim because I thought I did an okay swim. I didn't feel bad, but then about 10 miles or so into the bike, it hit me, and it just became a struggle at that point.
It's a good thing you didn't get pulled over.
I know, and peeing a cup. Even USADA would have got me.
Yeah, it's
so, but I had a great time there, and
wait, now this was last year?
This was last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So how I got to you guys was, the swim, and kind of how we started out this call. I do some traveling for work, but it's only within really the state of Indiana. So I'm home usually every night. And I just got tired of listening to the same music that I normally listen to when I drive. So I started listening to podcasts, and one day I just put in a search for triathlon swimming. And that's how I got to How to Not Suck at Swimming. So I thought it was a great title. It's like it's a great title because it kind of grabs you. And it's like, most people would say that they suck at swimming. So this is a great resource to turn to. So I listened to that, and I remember telling my wife when I got home that day about what I'd listened to, and how I'm going to start trying to implement all those nuggets of goodness that Coach Robbie had talked about, and saw a little bit of improvement that way. So then I kind of went back to the beginning, because I think the How to Not Suck at Swimming is like podcast. I just looked it up the other day.
Like 11
like
or 12 or something.
Yeah. So I went back to the beginning and listened to all those. And by the time I got back up, you had the second version on there too. So, and then it wasn't. Excuse me. It wasn't me who. It wasn't me who kind of really first reached out to you guys. It was my wife. I think reached out to Robbie. Because she was thinking about doing a half marathon, and reached out to see if he would, if he coaches, single sport athletes, and Robbie gracefully undertook that job and got her.
Wonderful endeavor. There you go.
Yeah,
I'll save you.
And then it was, thank you. And then it was a strange thing because at this point. I was already signed up for Wisconsin, Ironman Wisconsin for this year, and I was looking, kind of the same thing that happened. I was looking at my training, and I was like, this doesn't feel like I'm progressing any. So I was looking at the training programs that Robbie has on Training Peaks, and at that same day, my wife sent me an email. Related to the training that Robbie was having her do, and I responded back saying, it's interesting you sent that because I'm on their site right now, or I'm at Training Peaks right now, looking at these plans, and she suggested that I just reach out to Robbie, and kind of just do a consultation of some sort. So I did, and then we got to talking, and I kind of sent him what I was following up to that point in time, and he had some constructive criticism for it, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
And then, I think Robbie, we started working together in May of this year.
Yeah. Last week of April, first week of May. Yeah.
Yeah. And you sent me like a week of training. You said, take a look? What do you think? And I said, I looked at it, and there's so much structure in the training that I was like, this is what I've been missing, this is what I've been needing. And you fast forward to recently finish Muncie, and like I said, last year it was 57 minutes in the water. This year 40 minutes in the water. I mean that's a heck of an improvement, even if I just stopped right there. But we kept going. We did it better on the bike and did massively better on the run, and I could be more pleased with where I'm at.
Yeah, I got to give you huge. I think I told you this, but huge. I think a lot of people probably look at your bike split and say, oh, well, he only improved by like 3 or 4 minutes, on the bike split. And and two things is one, that's still good. I do believe it was quite a bit windier this last year than it was the previous year, in terms of headwinds and crosswinds and stuff.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, the improvement that you're not seeing in the bike, is relayed to, or it comes out in patience and confidence for the run, because you did what, a 30-minute something PR on the run.
It was something like that.
Yeah, and so you see run fitness, but what you really also see is restraint, and that's restraint on the bike, knowing your abilities, knowing that you're going to get off fresher and faster, or you could have chosen to have gone, oh well, this is because that's such the teaser on courses like that, as you can see yourself, bike splitting, your PR and the miles per hour go up or they go down, and you can just chase it and chase it and chase it. And then you just die and walk on the run, which is what so many people do on that course anyway, because the bike is so fast and that run is so relentless, in terms of rollers. And so, I think that's something that should be noted, and you should be given massive props for.
So, well, thanks. And I'm going to throw it right back to both of you, because Robbie, you sent me that, kind of a video before Muncie, and you said, let the race come to you. The fitness is going to be there. And on the bike, I don't know how many times I said that to myself as I saw my speed increasing, and it was a little bit windier. We had a really bad storm that rolled through the day before. Mm-hmm. So, and then the other thought I had on the bike was, on a prior podcast, Mike had mentioned, people, PR in the bike split. And as he passes them, he says, as he passes them on the run, he says, "Hey, nice bike split." So I didn't want that to happen either. So, I felt I probably could have gone faster on the bike, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to walk the run like I did last year. And with the exception of every third aid station where I would take a shot from my gel flask, I would walk a little bit, grab some water. I didn't walk at all through the run course.
There you go. There you go.
Love it.
So the right training, the right plan, the right podcast, it all came together that day.
The right person, the right attitude. Yeah, you just needed a little bit of. Yeah, you're already consistent. You just needed. Just a little bit of structure and some personalization. But yeah, you got massive props and improvements. So what are your having put in Muncie behind you and having had your experience with, a drug and narcotic fueled Ironman Louisville behind you?
Yeah, I take it your breakfast was better at Muncie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got an email the week after for Ironman Wisconsin, or how did that go?
No, that didn't happen this year. I signed up for Wisconsin last year. Like basically, how again, on one of the podcasts you talked about.
So you signed up for Wisconsin. Did you sign up for it before or after Louisville last year?
After Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why Wisconsin?
So I'm sorry.
Why Wisconsin?
The challenge. The course is much different than Louisville. At the time I signed up, it was still the mass start swim. I kind of wanted to experience that. Although after the start in Muncie, I was rethinking that. So
you always want
the
that.
bike. The bike is the hillier, as everyone says, and the run is got its own challenges as well. So, I mean, I think it was going to be it's drivable for us. Here in Central Indiana, it's just going to take us about 5 hours or so to get up there, and the course is what kind of pushed me to sign up for Wisconsin.
How do you feel going into that one compared to Louisville?
Well, I think I'm more prepared right now than I would have for Louisville last year. If I were to race it tomorrow, so to speak, or as an example, I think I'd be ready. I think I'd get through it, and I think I would do as long as I'm healthy. I think I would do much better. I think I would do much better.
Well, what's that formula, Robbie? They say if you cut an hour off your half, that means, 3 hours off your full?
No, don't say saying that.
Just kidding. I'm just having a little fun, man.
Jeez, man, you don't do that to my people. I don't even let his wife Kay was asking me, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Like the day before the race, what do you think he's capable of? What do you think he's gonna do? And I was like, man, I'm fairly good at predictions, but I didn't even tell her what I thought he was capable of until he was already out of the water on the bike, because I didn't want her to just spill the beans. But no,
well, I don't like. What did you have down?
I thought. Oh, good. Well, good for her.
She never shared that with me.
Good for her. I said you were definitely going to go under 6. Best case scenario around 5:40. So, yeah, I was give or take a few. Yeah, you bested me by a few minutes, which is what I was more than happy about. But yeah, so. Tell me about, and because this has always interested me, like from a person who, because I've only done it once, is doing Ironman in back-to-back years. It's super challenging to find the time to commit to the training. What did your time after Louisville last year look like for those like fall and winter months? Did you stick with training? Did you not stick with training? Was it structured or unstructured? What kind of layoff did you have, or did you have one, and was it kind of fueled by, man, that just I got, it was unlucky and I had a bad break, I wanted to get back at it?
Yeah, so after Louisville last year, I went into it sick and I came out of it sicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I was down for 2 to 3 weeks and on another round of antibiotics. But I think that motivated me to do it again. That's why I say it was bittersweet. I mean, I'm so glad I finished, but my day was so much focusing on just getting to the next aid station. So on the bike, I stopped at every aid station. My whole body was freezing cold. I could not warm up, so I did a complete kit change in T1 to a cycling kit, base layer, arm warmers, and a cycling vest. And I was freezing from my neck down, and my neck up, I was just burning up. So every aid station on the bike I stopped at and was pouring water on myself to cool my head down, but that also kind of cooled my core down, I guess. And what I'm getting at is that my focus wasn't on being in the race. It was just about getting to the next aid station, finishing. We paid a lot of money to go there, and I would hate to disappoint my wife and myself on this lifelong goal. So finishing was bittersweet because I don't remember. All these people will tell you about their Ironman experience, and they'll tell you how they remembered certain moments of the race and what was going on, or they'll write a post-race report and tell you about the certain areas of the bike or the run. And I can tell you on the bike, I remember a little girl holding a sign saying, make this hill your bitch, which kind of made me chuckle. I remember her, and I remember a little girl in a wheelchair on the run towards the beginning of the run, who was giving everyone high fives. And I remember seeing some friends and stuff like that, but I couldn't give you a race report. And that's why I think that's the bittersweet. It's sweet to have finished. The bitterness is a little bit that it didn't go as I imagined it would. And then I got back home and I was, I reactivated whatever I had going on. So I didn't have any structured training, but I knew I wanted to do another one because, I not that I wanted revenge or anything like that, but I mean, I think once you're in Louisville at the finish in particular, and that made it all worthwhile, because I do remember the finish. It was so loud. It was the lights are so bright. They have those lights for the official photographers, and it's just so bright. It just blinds you, and everyone's pounding on the signs, and it's just such a great atmosphere that I kind of wanted to experience that again.
Isn't that so true, man? It's like that can be the worst day of your life, and then it's just like that last half mile is just like it's all gone. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, and I think you guys mentioned it before. It's like there are so many dark spots, or can be so many dark spaces during an Ironman day, that you just want it to be over. But as you round that turn in Louisville, and you see this is, you're going to the finisher chute, you almost start to slow down. You're like, do I really want this to be over?
Mm-hmm. How did you feel going off of the second loop, though? You come into the finisher chute and turn.
Yeah, exactly. It crossed my mind. It's like, well, I mean, you look at your watch and you're like, man, I got at least another. In the condition I was, like another 2.5 hours of this. So it is going to be rough. And I had a baggie of Hall's, cough drops with me. So I was sucking on those, and I'm like, I don't know if I have enough. I have enough of these to get through the second lap. So, that's like, I have to keep going. Even though when you come around, you have to go on that second lap, you can see the finish, you can see people finishing, and you're like, well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like any Ironman, there's so many people on the course that are encouraging you that, while it took a long time for me to finish, I'm grateful for the experience.
Awesome, man. Well, that sounds like just a painful day, and how you pulled that together to keep going is just amazing, especially on that type of nutrition you're talking about, Halls and red pills, and who knows what else.
Yep. Yeah. So this year the goal, really, honestly, and Robbie may mark this down, is just to arrive healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Yeah. I guess that's so simple. That's my goal for Wisconsin.
Yeah. That's my goal for everyone. If you can arrive mentally fresh and excited, and then physically healthy, then the sky's the limit. Because those are the two biggest detriments to athletes competing in something like an Ironman or a 70.3, where not just the training volume is so high and so demanding, there's so much riding on it, but it's something that they've been focusing on for such a long period of time that they will so often get mentally or emotionally detached or not even interested in doing it again, and that just breeds complacency and excuses, and and you find these other reasons why. Why shouldn't I do it? Why I won't do my best? And then you just start to, search for all these additional excuses or reasons why you shouldn't do it or it wasn't meant to be. But if you can get there mentally fresh and happy and excited and looking forward to it and kind of antsy, as I like to call it, and then physically healthy, then, like you said, the sky's the limit. You're in the right place to hopefully transcend what you thought was possible when it comes to a certain time threshold.
Yeah. And let me just say this too. I mean, I don't, telling you about my day in Louisville is not meant to be an excuse, and I don't want anyone to think that that's what it was. I mean, my goal was to finish, and I met that goal. I just, hindsight, I wish the experience would have been a little bit better.
It's all right, man. You weren't just sick. You had a bad case of the training, bad training planitis. I mean, it was nowhere to go, and like I told you when I sent you my final email, I said it's never too late to what? You remember what I said? It's
never too late to jump off a sinking ship or something like that, or something along those lines.
It's never too late to get off a sinking ship. You can always right the course and find a better way if you feel it's going that direction. But yeah, I mean that's my hope and my overriding goal. Like I say again, is to have everyone healthy. Everyone.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just in general, Jamie, are you feeling like your approach and everything that you've been doing this year is leading towards a healthier training season? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the training that I'm doing now compared to what I did last year is night and day. I mean, you can see that there's structure within each workout. It builds week to week, and I think. Seeing all of that, I mean, like when Robbie will send, like this week, he sent 1 week this week. As I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, that gets me excited. That makes me want to do that. And, especially building off the success we had at Muncie. that was a huge confidence boost. That if we can do that at Muncie, what can we do at the full distance?
Well, I got to tell you, man, I'm looking forward to watching your race, and it's been great to get to know you, and I like watching your season unfold, and I will be there.
Are you gonna be there?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
He'll be on course in a crushing iron Speedo. He's already told me.
Wow.
So if he backs out, it's because he got if you're listening and you're in Ironman, Wisconsin, you see Mike in a hoodie and a toboggan or whatever, it just means he caved, because he's already confirmed and told me that he is going to be on course with a crushing iron Speedo.
Yeah, right. Is Barton Road still in, or did they change it this year? I can't remember.
They took it out.
They did?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be at one of the bottom of those hills with a Speedo on saying, make this hill your bitch.
I had the scariest image in my head right now.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of people ride fast.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to put E for explicit lyrics and explicit images when we post this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm getting in pretty good shape. I don't think it'll be that bad.
Yeah, you guys are looking good, I got to say. Seriously. I mean,
would you be saying the same thing if we hadn't given up meat?
I would. I think, you both, are you guys both losing weight?
I haven't got on the scale because I don't want to be frustrated by a lack of body weight loss. I want to go more by how I'm feeling and how my workouts are producing than what the scale is telling.
Yeah.
It only tells me a digital number that's probably not even accurate, as old as my scale is. But as far as what I can tell, I'm getting, a big thing for me is I'm getting more sleep, but I gave up all forms of soda and meat. And my workouts seem to be going pretty good, and I'm feeling pretty good. So my weight is not even secondary or tertiary. It's way down there. I'm sure I'll check it next week, and maybe even now, since you just mentioned it, I'll probably.
I just jinxed you.
But yeah, you just jinxed me. I'm gonna get off and weigh like 320.
Well, I got to tell you, I got on the scale today actually before my swim.
Okay.
And I can't remember what I said. I weighed in at like day 2. I think it was 187. Today I was at 180. So that's been in 20 days. That's probably give or take a couple pounds, but still I can definitely sense something going on. I've been working out pretty hard too. So. But I have been watching my diet a lot closer, and I think that I think my race weight goal is well within reach. I mean, what day are we on, Robbie? It seems like you get this wrong on every.
I do. I don't. Yeah. All I know is I have 81 days left.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't. That's how many days I know. I know that number because it's on my watch. I have zero clue what day we are in. I mean, I'm guessing like 19.
Yeah, so 80 days to lose 10 pounds, that isn't that bad, is it? I mean, is that reasonable?
I mean,
pace?
You're looking at probably losing more, because you're probably going to put a little on in just water weight and taper weight. So you're probably looking at like 11 or 12 you'd want to lose to come back up for race day. But
that's 3 pounds a month. That's not too fast or anything, is it? I mean,
it's less than a pound a week.
Yeah. That's good. That's it.
Very doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you cave and start eating meat again, then you're probably going to have to DNF.
Plant power, man. Plant power.
Oh, gosh. Plant power.
Not looking to date, Mike.
I'm not looking to date. Although you're probably a fan of dates, pitted dates.
Yes.
Thank you for the books, by the way. You've
absolutely. Robbie can't have all the fun with the books.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm loving it. Loving all the books.
Loving the Rich Roll book. Robbie's loving the Rich Roll book.
Robbie hasn't opened the Rich Roll book yet. You guys are jading me. I might not even read it.
You can't build it up too much more. Then it's just all it's going to be is a letdown.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, you're right. It's true.
When I decide to go back and start eating meat again, I'll start reading it. While I'm drinking a cup of coffee with something else in it or something. But no, the Thug Kitchen has been what I've been all about right now. So I'll keep reading that and doing it to it and following you and both you and your wife's journey. It's always fun training people within the same household because it's always such a different dynamic. it's always interesting. And I've got a few people like in that same category. So I've got you and your wife. You're a triathlete, and your wife is a runner / duathlete now, soon to be. We all know what the next step is. Yeah, we all know she's going to cave. I mean, that's I've got Carrie and Heath Glenn, which are a husband and wife duo, and KCK, and I'm pumped to meet this weekend actually at our open water swim clinic. And I've got Stephanie and Matt, which are soon to be newlyweds in September, and then I have a mother-daughter, and Regina and Jordan Reed. So yeah. Oh, and gosh, I can't forget Summer and Chris Scandra, another couple in Texas. So yeah, I love the same household training. It's always an interesting dynamic and fun times to be had all around.
Absolutely.
Well, best of luck, Jamie. I'm sure we'll be talking. I appreciate you coming on and keep us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Hope to see you soon. If not, it'll be at Wisconsin. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to come up and swim the canal.
No, yeah, that's a good call on your part. I think I have a big training weekend and a big weekend of volunteer. We're volunteering at a trail run on Saturday, and then we're both volunteering at the Tri-Indy, where they swim in the canal on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So I'll probably see you. I'll see you in Wisconsin, and we'll definitely see both of you. If not sooner, we'll see you in Louisville, where we're also volunteering.
Awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
81 days to Louisville. Right on.
That means we're 19 days in. Guess you guys.
And 45 days to Wisconsin, if you're keeping track at home.
Oh man, that's it. Oof.
Yep.
Well, you're ready, buddy.
Yeah, you are ready.
I feel like it. Awesome.
Okay, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for listening out there. Join our closed Facebook group, Crushing Iron Group, in the search bar. Anything else, Robbie? The camp dates are coming out, right?
Yeah, we're launching our 2018 C26 triathlon and swim camp dates. We'll have 5 of them. We'll be launching those in the forum. Registration is actually going to be open tomorrow in the forum. It's been open for current athletes. We already have 4 athletes registered for April camp and 6 already registered for the June camp. If you want additional details on anything that regarding training packages, swim analysis, camps, whatever, or just you want more info in general, then just feel free to email me at c26coach@gmail.com.
Sounds good. All right,
this
fellas.
is the Rich Roll Podcast. All right,
peace and plants.
Peace, yeah.
Peace and plants.
Peace and performance. Get out of here.
All right, guys. We'll catch you later. See you.
See you guys. Thanks.